where we listen intensely and we listen for understanding. We listen to the feelings, the meanings, the emotions behind the words because they convey so much more. I'm your host, Marvinetta Woodley Penn with Marvinetta Penn Consulting. Now, one of the things that we do underneath the banner, the umbrella of Marvinetta Penn Consulting is that we do joy on the journey, workshops, and coaching. If you want to have more joy in your life, if you want to get off that hamster wheel of doing the same thing over and over and over again, getting caught up in what's going on in the world outside of your world, then you need to find some more joy and put some more joy onto your journey with me, Marvin Woodley Penn. But today I am so happy to bring you two stories that have combined, that have merged into one story, even though these two gentlemen still have their individual stories for their individual journeys. And we're going to get into all of that today on our episode of All Stories Matter, where we are featuring these two handsome young guys in the studio today, and I'm just going to let them introduce themselves. I'm going to go clockwise, and I'm going to start with, or maybe I should go counterclockwise.
Oh my goodness.
Because I want to deal with the senior here, the senior manager, or the senior boss. No, Kevin, since you were the one who gave me my...
That's it.
Yes, that is true, Marvinetta.
You were the one that I met, and I'm telling you, when I saw you, I had a meeting with you scheduled. I was a day early because I'm kind of dyslexic.
That's all right.
And I wrote the date of our meeting in the wrong slot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm showing up, I'm all nice and early, and he wouldn't even come out. He just told the guy, she's supposed to be here tomorrow. Send her home.
No, Marvinetta. I was out in the community building relationships.
Oh, my face dropped. But that's okay, because I came back the next day and I was still on time. So, Kevin.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you were not, because of that last name, you were not who I thought you were going to be. But it's okay. I'm so happy that you're here. Kevin, tell us who you are. Tell us your story.
Marvinetta, thank you for having us. Your energy is amazing. I knew that the first 5 seconds I met you, that you were something special about you. So thank you for having me. I'm Kevin Crittendon. I'm the Associate Director of the Southwest Michigan First Chamber. Been with the Chamber for 2.5 years, coming up on 3. And just having a ton of fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just having a great time supporting entrepreneurs, supporting businesses. And I'm just a curious dude, Marvinette. I call it nosy. But I just love finding out about what's going on in our community.
And what a wonderful community this is.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys don't just serve Kalamazoo, though. You serve Greater Southwest Michigan, or what?
Yes, well, the Chamber actually serves the entire county. So that's one of the things that we always want to make sure people know. We are the county's chamber, Marvinetta.
Okay.
Sometimes people just associate us with Kalamazoo or just downtown, but we're here to serve the entire county.
Okay. And what does the county consist of? I'm new to Kalamazoo, and I should know this by now, but what does the county consist of?
Yeah, so
And who are you, young man?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. My name is Clarence, Lloyd. I work with Kevin at the Southwest Michigan First Chamber.
Oh, you don't just work with Kevin. You are because Kevin told us who he was, what his position was. Didn't you, Kevin?
Yes, I did.
Yes, so Clarence, I thought so.
So my role is I'm a vice president at Southwest Michigan First, and I'm the director for the chamber at Southwest Michigan First, right? So very proud to be in both of those roles. I've been there for about 4 years. It'll be 4 years in a couple months. And but yeah, so the county is, I would say, on the south side is like Vicksburg, Schoolcraft. On the east side is like Galesburg. North to like Richland, Augusta, northwest to like Texas Township.
Oh.
So kind of all the way around the county that way is the area that we cover. And there's a lot of communities in between, but those are the primary places where we focus.
Oh, nice, nice. I promised myself that I will become more familiar with Kalamazoo. Now that it's going on 18 months, I think I should at least know the county. the parameters of the county.
There's some great communities out there, and each one is
Yeah.
just a little unique, and that's one of the things we love too.
Awesome, awesome. So do you guys do things all over the county? Have different events like this morning? You had an awesome event at the Y
Yeah.
that I was proud to be a member, to have my blue, did I have the,
You have red.
I had the red.
Yes.
Who had the blue? The ambassadors.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes.
I think I'm aspirational.
That's it. That's it.
I didn't have the white at least. So
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's
I
right.
am a member of the chamber. So all of you businesses out there, whether you're startups, whether you've been around for a while, whether you're even thinking about starting a business, start at the chamber.
Say,
Or
I
come
didn't
to
hear
the
that, Marvin.
chamber.
Now to say that again.
Whether you're a startup, whether you're long term, you've been in business for a while, but you want to make that pivot, you want to get yourself out there even more, or if you're even thinking about starting a business, come to the chamber. It's a wonderful place. This morning, I made 3 really, really good contacts.
I love that.
That's
I have followed up on 2, and they're going to grow, they're going to grow from contacts to relationships
Totally.
to partnerships. Yeah.
That's how it goes. We
That's
say
how
all the
it
time
goes.
that people do business with who they know, like, and trust, and you have to
Say
start.
that one more time.
So people do business with who
With.
they know,
Who they know,
like,
like,
and trust.
and trust.
But a lot of times we want to go straight to trust. Like, hey, I'm trying to earn your business. It's like, well, we got to get past know and like first. That's why we encourage people to come out, and it takes time, right? It's not magic, but when it happens, it feels like it. But it just takes persistence and consistency.
Is that why it took you 12 months?
Wow.
No, because
Listen.
I believe, I am a firm believer, you got to put it out there. And not just once. It's like dating somebody, right, guys?
Yeah.
You don't just see somebody
That's
that you
right.
think you're going to have a long-term
Gotta show up.
relationship with, and you're like, boom, that's it. I'm done. No. You invest in that, and you keep going back and going back and going back until you hook that fish. So I got that fish now.
They're sitting in the seat.
one of the things we try to do, Marvinetta, is instead of tell you about it,
Yeah.
is show you.
Oh,
So that's one of the things, that's how we got you. You came out
right.
to an event.
Yeah.
I could tell you all day about the connections, the value, but till you come out and actually feel it, that's when the difference is made. So although my main responsibility is to grow the membership base, this man has never asked me to go out and sell memberships. We just want to invite people to be part of something that's special.
special indeed. Now, I want to go back to the beginning, and I want to know how you came to Southwest Michigan First. Kevin, how did you find out about Southwest Michigan First? Did they recruit you? Were you just out there looking? How did that happen?
It's like a lot of things in life, Marvinetta, just by chance.
Okay.
We have a unique story. So we both were at Western around the same time. I had seen Clarence. I knew his face. We never spoke. At most, maybe gave each other the nod, walking past each other.
What?
Fast forward 25 years later, after doing sales for various different organizations, business development, just happened to be driving through the parking lot doing some prospecting right near our office, literally a block from our office, and saw him walking through the parking lot, and something made me say, I need to stop and roll down the window because I've seen him out in the community. Now, I'm approaching him because I'm looking for prospects and to sell, and he ended up selling me, Marvinetta.
Something made you say, that's that voice. That's that universal voice that if we tune in, if we're ready to be open and to listen, we will always get what we're supposed to have.
Yes.
I love that testimony.
Yeah.
So you guys started talking and you found out that there was an opportunity, or he made an opportunity.
I think we just started out having a genuine conversation. He was inquiring about what I do. I was inquiring about what he does. And as we just continue to have those conversations, he kind of articulated to me what his vision was. At that point, he had been out in the community just listening, visiting businesses and just hearing what they needed. And he had to start to develop his strategy. And again, by chance, call it a blessing, a divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. For some reason, I decided to slow down and roll down the window and talk to this man that day. And it's been life-changing.
Awesome. And how long was it until you came on from that day? About how long was it before you
It was fast.
Oh, my.
It was very, I mean, it was a month maybe, a month and a half. And it probably would have been faster. Just we had to do our steps. But
Yes.
yeah, it was fast.
That is, and you guys are a wonderful team. To see you work together, it's magic.
Yeah.
It's magic.
I mean, this man, again, I mean, just, he's always been, open, easy to talk to, easy to relate to. And so when I saw his face, it was the same thing. It was familiar, but it was easy. And so I was able to freely just say like, yeah, this is kind of what we're thinking, what we may be doing. And I remember getting back to the office and we were really still refining what that role was going to be. And I think you might have connected with me on LinkedIn almost right away, which made it super easy. Yeah. So then we were able to share that information and really get started. But what I love having, why I love having Kevin around is a bunch of reasons. But one of the primary ones is we both understand the psychology of sales, which is, we can nerd out on it. But really,
because I don't. Go ahead.
But why I love it is it really just helps you understand how to connect to people.
Yeah.
And his ability to connect to people quickly, he makes fast friends faster than me, which is why he's so great at his job. And I love somebody who can easily connect with people from all sorts of backgrounds and, different ways of life and living, and just make everybody feel seen and heard. And I feel like that's so important because so many people aren't or don't feel that way. Mm-hmm. So to have somebody on your team that can help people feel that way is super important.
Mm. Indeed, because he made me feel really, really comfortable from the first time I saw him. I was like, okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's just taking a genuine interest in people. It's looking beneath the facade. It's like I was saying about listening to people. When you're talking to somebody, you go beyond what the person is saying to what they're feeling, to what they might not be saying. And so I feel that when I talk with Kevin, he's looking through me and into my spirit, and that means a lot. So that is a gift.
All these kind words you guys are good. At the end of the day, I just enjoy the assignment that I'm on. I enjoy working with Clarence, and part of it is working with someone who looks like me. And people think that we're very similar. We're different in ways. We have similar ideas about how we feel and are passionate about our community. But one of the things I speak about when I talk to my friends is, and it feels good to work with someone where sometimes I have a little phrase where I say, what's understood doesn't need to be said. And I've never had that before, Marvinetta. So to have that feeling and to be able to work in that environment and be seen as an individual, it makes what I do enjoyable. It makes me want to do it. And it's been a blessing, truly a blessing.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you. What needs to be said doesn't have to be said. To paraphrase, what you want to say, you don't even have to say it because people just get it. They get it. Clarence, how did you come to Southwest Michigan first?
So my previous role was with a local financial institution. I had been there for almost 10 years here in downtown. And I was fortunate enough in trying to build that business, that part of my career, to have had the opportunity to develop a lot of relationships with city leaders, community leaders, organizations. And in doing that, I was really trying to become more valuable to potential clients. I wanted people to do their business with me. And so in order to do that, I needed to be where they couldn't be and represent their voice. And it was just a natural outcropping of trying to be valuable so I could earn their business.
I'm sorry, did I call you Kevin when I just introduced you, or did I call you Clarence?
I'm going to say you call me Clarence because I think I would have caught it.
Okay.
I definitely would have teased you.
Okay. Yeah. Because my mind is like...
So what I didn't know is that was preparing me for this role.
Okay.
And so when my time was up at that previous place, I remember I was kind of looking around for what it was going to be, and I didn't know yet. I'm like, man, I've been doing banking for the past 10 years. And my wife was like, listen, well, you're going to have to name it if you're going to find it. Like, you can't find what you're not looking for, right? And so I was like, all right,
Smart lady.
right? So I was like, I guess if I got to put a name to it, I don't know, like something like what a chamber does. Now, keep in mind, at the time, our chamber wasn't doing much, but I knew what they were supposed to be doing. No shade, but that's the truth.
That's the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth.
Yes.
And so about a week after I said that out loud to her, I saw online that they were hiring for the director position. So I applied. And then I got the declination letter that said, thanks, no thanks. And I was like, man, like, did they read it? Like,
did they actually, do they know who I am?
Do they know who I am? I wasn't thinking that, but I was just like, man, my resume fits so well.
Yes.
But that's what it was. Well, a variety of things transpired over the course of the next few weeks. And out of the blue, I got a call.
Not out of the blue. Not out of the blue. Things flipped like they were supposed to flip.
They did. It took some time for those things to get into place, but once they did, we've been cooking ever since.
Get out. Did they give you any explanation about the
That's a great question.
Of heart?
I know that one of the things that happened in that interim between the time that I got declined and when I got that next call is I happened to have a conversation with a friend, unbeknownst to me, who knew that organization. They knew some of the leaders there. Okay. And so I just happened to be commiserating to them like, oh, I can't believe they didn't even give me an interview or anything,
Uh-huh.
And what I found out later was because they knew somebody, they were like, you should probably give Clarence another look. He might be the one. And they did. So the moral of the story is, one, you never know who's listening. And two, relationships matter.
All stories matter, but relationships matter.
They absolutely
also.
do.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What a journey. What a journey for both of you, and not to give up and not to hold it in and to be ashamed to say, I was declined a job that I know I was. A lot of times we're ashamed of it. And so we want to I'm not going to tell anybody, oh, life is good. Life is good. But something told you, no, you were led to say, this is what happened to me, not knowing that this person could do something about it.
Yeah. I think it's important. Like you took a step to do something maybe that you wouldn't have done otherwise. The same thing happened to me. But in neither situation did we do it for the intention that it delivered, right? We didn't do it for an end.
Yes.
We did it because it was kind of how we were led in that moment.
It was the moment.
Yeah.
And you just followed. You followed that energy
Right.
that came to you to roll down that window, to say something, to have that conversation, and to interject into that conversation what had happened to you. I'm telling you, when we follow that voice, when we listen to that voice and we just go with it, not intending for anything, but just being present in that moment and going with it, the magic happens. I just felt something.
Yeah.
The energy is intense. So tell us about Southwest Michigan first, and then we'll get into the chamber.
Yeah, so Southwest Michigan First is a private nonprofit 501c3 regional economic development company. Well, there's a whole bunch of words. What does that mean? So the private part means that we aren't government funded. There's no tax dollars involved. So the dollars that we use to run our organization, most of them aren't even grant dollars. They are largely philanthropic donations from local businesses. And that's important because it means that there aren't strings attached to, a lot of different, folks that we're trying to serve. We are a business serving organization. We're trying to create jobs that people in our community have that pay them well so they can take care of their families. That's who we serve. So that's what private means. We're a nonprofit. A lot of people don't know that. So we're 501c3, so we can accept grants. We do write some grants on behalf of some of our business owners, but that is how all of our funding works. So we don't have anything that we sell necessarily. So how we generate dollars is by being valuable to the businesses in our community who then donate on our behalf. So economic development, It's something that we do across the region. So there's 7 counties in Southwest Michigan, and we cover all of them. So I'm going to say Calhoun County over to the Lakeshore. I know that don't mean nothing to you. Battle Creek.
But it does to our audience.
Okay,
so
all right.
Keep it going, keep it going.
So Calhoun County over to the Lakeshore, and then down to Indiana. So there's 7 counties there.
Okay.
And we are the kind of like the economic development organization that helps to, curry favor and to, make sure that the businesses in those counties are all being served. Now, we have partners that also do that work, who kind of focus on different counties. We just are a partner from a regional perspective. The work of economic development really is sort of broad, but we help, again, businesses to either be attracted to come here. Yes. So businesses who aren't here, we try to find spaces for them to come here, take up shop, create jobs so that they can, have well-paying jobs that people can take. And we also have businesses that are already here. We don't want them to leave. No. And so we want them to stay and grow. Yes. Because when they grow, tax base improves, people get and keep their jobs. More jobs are created. We've got great educational institutions. We want to create partnerships there. And then we also want to start to tackle things like housing and transportation and internet infrastructure. I mean, there's just so many different things that make a community a place where you want to live and work and play. Economic development organizations really invest in all of that.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot.
And it's largely behind the scenes. And so one of the things I just want to mention here is that a lot of times when people have seen our name, and the reason why they often think we only serve large businesses is because it's really seductive when you're scrolling whatever you're looking at or flipping through the paper to stop when you see the name Stryker or Pfizer or Western or name the big company. Certainly there are times when we work with those companies. But by and large, who we're working with, the place where you work and where you work and where you work, like all of those companies too, from the smallest solopreneur, individually owned company to something like a multinational Pfizer and everybody in between. So just because what makes the news is a big company doesn't mean that's the only people we work with. So that's really important. And that's one of the things we love about it is that we get to work with businesses of all sizes.
How often do you get to tell this story?
I have this conversation every day, Marvinetta. That's the beauty of it. I think I was reviewing last year, and I had over 400 conversations with business owners or business leaders. So you get to hear those stories, and you get to hear those challenges. So that's the great thing, kind of going back to what Clarence said, is with all those things, how we serve each business or organization is unique. But one of the things we always say is start with us. You may not think it is a Southwest Michigan First or a chamber issue, but start with us. Give us a chance. We might not have the solution, but we might be able to connect you with the person that does have that solution. So it's just fun to get out there again. Me being curious or nosy or whatever you want to call it. It's fun to get out and have these conversations and also hear the stories. Marvin,
all stories matter.
That's the thing that's so exactly. That's the thing that is so amazing is when you hear the stories behind these awesome businesses that we have in our community.
Yeah. So what's the success story that you can give me? I know you have a plethora of success stories related to the work of Southwest Michigan First.
I mean, you're right. There are so many, and it's really tricky. Just thinking about from the regional economic development perspective, the short story is there was a time when Eaton, the company that's out there a little east of us here, they were directly across the street from a space that had been vacated by another company, and the company that was going to go into that space was going to be a landfill. And Eaton had a bunch of engineers that worked there, and they're doing big work with their company, and they were like, listen, if that's what goes here, we're not interested. Now, what was important about that time was this was a while ago, but our community had experienced a ton of loss in the skilled labor workforce because we had a bunch of paper mills that we were sort of known for here. Many of them had begun to close or offshore those jobs. General Motors was here and had recently closed. And so we had this influx of people who were looking for work. And oftentimes, as you know, if one person in the home loses their job and it's kind of specific, you start to be open to leaving that community to go find good work. And so it was important that we found a solution. So with that challenge that we had gotten from the company who said, hey, if that thing goes in over there, we're not really into it. It just so happened that we were able to identify a potential partner in Target today. So fast forward 20 years, Target Distribution Center is that location. And so now directly across the street, not only is there this big, national organization that puts hundreds of people to work, but we were able to retain Eaton, have hundreds of jobs, and many of them were some of the skilled labor force that had previously been kind of put aside. So what we helped do is, we aren't Target, right? We didn't do the big heavy lifting. What we did though is we convened parties together. We found the resources and incentives that would attract that, that organization to bring those hundreds of jobs here,
Yes.
and made sure that they felt at home so that they would stick around. So that's like an example of how we make those things happen.
My gosh, you must work closely with the city, with the local governments, agencies, and officials. Because if you're giving incentives, I mean, the city has to be a part of that, the county, the state, everybody's got to be a part of that whole infrastructure.
I'm going to brag on Clarence a little bit.
Please do.
That is one of the things. He does a ton of things amazing, but getting the right people to the table. So, when you asked about the success stories, I can think of occasions where things were happening in our community where Clarence was able to pull the right people to the table, and we were able to come up with solutions that everyone was included in. So just the ability to do that and to make sure the right people are in the room, I think that's where we're able to bring a lot of value, and specifically with his relationships in the community. That's huge. That's how we're able to move the needle, and that's how we're really able to support our businesses, is by those relationships, coming full circle back to those relationships.
Indeed. And both of you have the personalities and the skills. You were talking about sales. I see it all over you, making that sale, getting to close.
Right, but now we're not, slinging product, we are.
You're slinging product in a way,
Well,
because the product is the end
100%.
goal for the community and the business and the city.
Yeah, the connections. I mean, that is what we traffic in, right? To kind of keep the same pun. It's connection.
Yes.
I think one of the things we both love is to be curious and nosy, and just have a mind that plugs it all in someplace.
Yeah.
And knowing that when you hear somebody else maybe with a need or a connection opportunity, you're like, I know who you should meet. I mean, it's one of the things we love the most. I just wanted to dig in a little bit to something that you were saying, Kevin, which is one of the things we created. I guess this was a couple of years ago now. So right around the time when Kevin was coming on board, you probably remember in downtown, this might have been just before you got here too, but in downtown Kalamazoo, there had been some ordinances that had changed. We were really close to sort of the end of the pandemic, and the downtown businesses were really going through it. I mean, there were periods of construction. There's an unhoused population that were just looking for where they could be during the day, and there just weren't a ton of resources and opportunities there. And this was on top of the fact that buyers' behaviors were changing.
Yes, definitely.
And so as a chamber, we want to be supportive of those businesses, even when they're not members, and really advocate on their behalf. One of the things we were hearing is that, hey, we are reaching out to, community leaders in the city, and we really want some support. But the city was still reeling as well. The downtown had an organization that really managed the affairs of downtown, but that organization dissolved. So the city was kind of left holding the bag, and they were trying to figure their own stuff out. This is on top of what real challenges the businesses were facing.
Of course.
And so what felt like it was about to be anarchy. No, I'm exaggerating.
But no, I understand, because they got to survive.
100%.
They have workers.
This is their livelihood. 100%, right?
Investments,
Yes, exactly. So what we knew is that if we really wanted the businesses to feel like they were talking to the right people, they were able to get some answers, and start to feel like they were a part of a solution, moving in the right direction, as we needed to get them in the room with some of those community leaders. Well, we have those relationships, and they felt frustrated. It's like, well, I called and I emailed, and that's tough, right? Because if you work for, say, the city, and you're getting 100 calls a day from 100 different people about 100 different challenges, like, what do you even do with that? Yes. So what we did is we said, we're going to have a downtown business community town hall. Ooh. And we're going to invite all those community leaders into the room with the business community. And we just want to create a forum where people can talk openly. We want to keep it productive and positive, but we need to get to the real, and we need to start developing some solutions together. And that's what we did. And I think the first time we did it, it was 15 people in the room. But I think the last 3 or 4 times we did it, we probably averaged 80 people in the room.
Awesome.
And so it has really developed into a life of its own. We do it quarterly, and now we do it all around the county. So we have one in Vicksburg and Schoolcraft. We have one in Augusta and Richland. We have one in Texas Township. We have one in Portage. We're doing one on Thursday with Kalamazoo City and the Township. So we've just continued to expand that model to bring it to all of the communities we serve around the county.
That is amazing. Have you gotten interest from other cities, other municipalities, other chambers, other organizations about the model that you're using? That they might want to explore this model to see how they can use it in their communities?
That's a good question. We have had some invitations from communities outside of the county who would like us to bring that to their community. We try to stay focused on the communities that we currently serve, Indeed. But we certainly want to share intel and information that helped us build what we think is a pretty successful series.
Yeah, just show them, give them, okay, this is the model, and you pay us, and we can train you on how to do.
I like that. See, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah. I'm always thinking about how can this turn into income.
You're an entrepreneur.
Indeed. Indeed. I couldn't see myself working for anybody else. I'll contract, but that's it, because I got a whole bunch of stuff on the table. But I think that that's an awesome thing. I don't think we have anything. I'm sure we have something like that in Chicago, but I haven't heard of it being this concentrated, this local, and having real results to come out of the initiatives. So I know you guys do parties. Oh, because you got one coming up Thursday, right here. No, it is here in the Epic Center. So guys, no, this won't air in time. It won't be up in time, unfortunately, but you're always doing something. The Chamber, give them no, not the Chamber, but Southwest Michigan first. And now we're going to pivot to the Chamber. But first, I want one of you to tell our listeners and viewers how they can get in touch with the Chamber, with Southwest Michigan First / the Chamber.
Absolutely. You can reach us at our website, southwestmichiganfirst.com. If you look over on the right-hand side, it'll have information on the Chamber. Feel free to reach out to me directly, Kevin Crittendon. We have on our website, you can also find an About Us, so you can find my information there. But again, it's Crittendon at southwestmichiganfirst.com. I would love to talk to you and mainly just learn about your business and find out if we can provide value and support. We might not necessarily be able to help everyone, but 9 times out of 10, I think there's ways we can offer you some support. So please reach out.
Even if you just come to the mixers in the morning, it's worth the membership because you meet so many interesting people. And I have seen, I'm a Rotarian, right? And I like you guys to come to the meetings, consider becoming a Rotarian. It's a small community. We're all working together for the same purpose. But I've seen some of my Rotarian friends at the meetings. They're members of the Chamber. I am a part of Unity Church, and I've seen a couple of people from Unity at the meetings. And I saw somebody else that I knew from another circle. So all these circles are intersecting, and they're all working for the same purpose.
Yeah.
Not just for a business, but to better this amazing community called Kalamazoo and beyond.
That's right. Yeah, Greater Kalamazoo. You know,
Kalamazoo.
It's interesting what you just mentioned is I think sometimes people wonder like, well, what's the difference between like this group and that group? So, for instance, Kalamazoo Business Network, right? That is a place where a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders will engage. They'll connect to one another. There's another networking group called Barrels, Bottles, and Brews where people kind of get together after work and and have a drink together, which is great. Obviously, there's the work that we're doing. There's the work that the Rotary is doing. There's a lot of organizations. Well, those first three for sure right now. So the Chamber, Kalamazoo Business Network, Barrels, Bottles, and Brews are doing a collaboration event in April. It'll be at the Hub Tavern right downstairs. I don't have the date exactly, but it is on our website. Yes. And last year we did this at the Social House. This year it's at Hub. But it was by far our biggest Chamber Connect event for the year. And one of the things we heard so many people say was, I hadn't seen them in years, right? I ran into an old colleague or somebody I used to work for, or somebody. I mean, people really legitimately enjoyed themselves. So that's just, it's know, like, and trust, right? Like, when you come out, you will see people that you haven't seen in so long, and you'll meet some new people. And you never know when those relationships will bear fruit.
Oh, I'm so inspired. I'm so inspired by you guys. What keeps you going other than, well, I know you get a check.
That helps.
It doesn't hurt.
I mean, we're all in this. The bottom line, no, that's not the bottom line, but that greases the way to the bottom line. You know, we do have to pay rent. We got bills to pay, and we like having fun, and most of those things cost money. Some of those things cost money. But what else keeps you motivated? Because I know that there are times when you have a project, didn't quite go like you thought it was going to go, and it's like, dang, I didn't quite hit that mark, or didn't quite get that membership goal, or what sustains you guys?
I know for me, it's just having an impact and a legacy in our community. That was one of the things when I met Clarence and we had that meeting. I was going through some things in my life. I had just lost my father, and originally from Port Huron, and he had a pretty, he was a pastor, a high school principal. So when I went back to his services, I just saw all the people that he impacted. Up until that point, I had been a quota-carrying sales guy, boss maybe 2 states away. I drove to my meetings, maybe go to the gym every now and then, maybe hit church every now and then. And that was my connection to my community, where I'm raising my daughter, keep in mind. Yes. So after going home and having that experience, I was having all that emotion and those thoughts when I ran into Clarence. So when he talked about his vision and what he was doing, and when I looked at where my skills lied, what I had been blessed with, I'm like, this is how I feel I can have an impact and leave a legacy on my community. So that's honestly what got me here. That's what keeps me going. And like I said, I love it, truly love it.
So it wasn't just that you were in that parking lot, but you had gone through a phase in your life where you realized there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
I'm on this hamster wheel. This hamster wheel's pretty comfortable. It's got a little carpet on it.
It's cool. All right.
I get little treats on the different stairs along the way, but kind of on a hamster wheel. But then when you saw the impact that your father had made, the legacy that he had left, the lives that he had touched, you're like, something more.
Absolutely.
There's something bigger. That connection, that part of your journey was what that I feel was what, that's it. Roll down this window right now. You're going to do it right now.
Yep.
I love it.
And look at you now. Oh my God. So just knowing that you are reconnecting with that community, and you guys really are making a huge difference in the community. I mean, when I first came here, and I'm not going to talk a lot, I can't talk, but I was looking for community. Because, you know, when you're new to a place where you didn't go to high school, you didn't go to grammar school, you know, you didn't go to church, so you weren't raised with these people. And if they don't know you in the beginning, it's very difficult. You guys are from the area, am I right?
We're both from the east side.
Both from the east side.
You from here, so you got deep roots here. I have no roots here.
We're from the east side of the state.
Yeah,
east side of the state.
Yeah, we're not from Kalamazoo.
Not from Kalamazoo.
Yeah, we came here to go to Western, yeah.
You got Western.
Mm-hmm. We do have Western, that's true.
So you got, and that was during your formative years.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So you've got some ties that go back there. But imagine coming someplace later in life and trying to get established. But I knew that there was something about you guys, the Chamber. When I came to that first event, it was around the Christmas holiday. And I met Janine Seals. And we started a conversation, and we're still in conversation. So I felt connected, and I says, I'm going to follow these guys. So you are making a huge impact, huge impact. So what about you? What keeps you going when you run into those hurdles that might knock other people down?
You know, I feel like, growing up, my mom she was sort of the connector of our family. And so she's middle kid. And so she was the connection often between the oldest and the youngest. And she, for all of her nieces and nephews, anytime one of them, maybe ran into a little trouble and needed a soft place to land, that was Auntie Melba, right? Like that was where you went. And I wasn't internalizing that consciously at the time, but subconsciously I was. And as an adult now, I can look back and see that, and it continues to this day. And I think that the love of connecting to people and being there for them and being a place where they can go to get plugged in or feel engaged, feel seen, feel acknowledged, like that's always been something that I've seen modeled for me. And then, really fast forward into college, there was a time when I was an orientation leader and I was an RA, I was on staff, I was in a fraternity. Like I was in all these things where lots of people knew who I was, but I didn't necessarily know who they were.
Okay.
But I enjoyed being sought after to make connections. Hey, such and such, because you're a part of this thing. Can you introduce me to? And I enjoyed like being the guy who knows a guy.
Oh,
like it was fun, right? It was like, I'll introduce you, right? Like I like making those connections. And so then it made it worth it to invest in relationships. One, because I enjoy the one-on-one and the curiosity side, but also because if I can never give any of that away, like that's why I accumulated is not for me, so I can give it away, right? Because people have done that for me, and I've seen it modeled to me. So, now in this role, it's that even more. It's the next level of that. So every stage of my career, of my kind of adult life, has allowed me to accumulate relationships and friendships and partnerships that now I can help make connections and take them to that next level for somebody else. Because, there's only so much you can do with knowing, a bunch of people personally. The best thing I can do is give it away and try and make somebody else's situation just a little bit better.
Awesome. My gosh, you guys are so inspiring. You're so inspiring. I also met Doreen Gardner.
Love Doreen.
Papa's Peanut, Papa's Brittle. I saw her at another event because I'm just going to keep coming. You guys had this event at your space on the first floor, and you had people giving their presentations, and I think Doreen won for the presentation. If not, she was one of the runners-up. Do you guys remember that event?
I think she presented, I think that's when we had a panel discussion. She was part of a panel. I don't know if it was a competition.
But she did win Maker's Mark. It wasn't in our space.
Okay.
But Doreen was, I think, our most recent winner, or one of them, of our Maker's Mark competition, which we're thinking about, reinvigorating here. So stay tuned. But yes, Maker's Mark was one of our favorite things, which allowed us to partner with local makers right from here in the community and give them a platform to be able to share what they do, what they love with the world. And so we used to have a leadership development conference, and a part of that conference was this Maker's Mark idea, and Sister Doreen participated in it and won the year she participated.
Awesome.
So since then, we have invited her to many things to talk about her journey. And so it's pretty easy to spot her when she's...
I had her on the show.
Yeah.
I had her on the show.
We love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. And then I went back to Chicago. No, I saw her at the Christmas bazaar that they have at the school, at the middle school. She was selling small packages of the brittle.
So good.
And I got some. I'm like, oh my God, I can use this as a fundraiser for my organization, Global Girls, right? So I bought 100 bags, and she gave me like 30 additional bags. She's such a sweetheart. And I took it down there, sold out, and people have started ordering from her from Chicago. And I'm so happy to feel that, I'm helping her business go. And because I think that that's That's what it's all about.
It is.
You know, because I'm not, as you said, I'm not here, and as you said, we're not here just to serve ourselves, just to get rich ourselves, just to be comfortable ourselves, but we're here to help other people. We're here to be a maven, to be that connector, to be that inspiration, to be that, okay, you got something, girl, let me help you do that. Come on, all right. And I don't have to get anything from it, but the joy of knowing that I help somebody out. I help somebody else.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all. So go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was just gonna say, I think another important piece of that is telling the stories.
Yeah.
Telling the stories of the Doreens or of the
Yes.
businesses. And one of the things that we do is every year we do something called the Chamber's Choice Awards.
Oh.
And we have many different categories, but we want to take that time to recognize some of the cool things that are going on in this community. Someone like Doreen, who started her business later in life, to be able to share that story, to inspire others is so valuable. So that's what we always want to focus on. The focus isn't about us. We want to tell the stories of all the awesome things that are going on in our community and let that inspire people.
Yes.
So that's really that's another key component that we always want to focus on.
Businesses out there. Businesses out there. I don't care who you are. Come and be a part of the chamber. You know, too often we want to get the income, but we have to invest. If you don't invest in your business is going to become stagnant. You become stagnant, you're going to die. You have to take time and resources to invest in your business. And a membership is a minimal investment for what you're going to get out of the chamber. Yeah. So let's talk about the difference between Southwest Michigan first and the chamber. Have we talked about that? Have we given enough time to that? I think
probably
we
clarify
need to
that.
Let's talk about that just a little bit more.
So as we talked about, Southwest Michigan First is the regional economic development organization. So as Clarence alluded to earlier, it's recognized by the MEDC, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, as Southwest Michigan's economic developer organization. So that's all those things we talked about before, helping maintain the businesses we have, retain the businesses we have, attract businesses, help them grow. Where the chamber comes in, we're here to serve the county. So we want to make sure we're providing our businesses with tools and resources. Now, we love getting people connected, but we don't want to be just a networking organization. One of the key things that we provide our businesses is education. Whether it's business succession planning, marketing, tax preparation, all the things on the back end, we want to make sure that we tie you into subject matter experts that can support you. And again, of course, helping you build that relationship capital as well. So that's kind of the slight difference where the Economic Development Organization is involved in that attraction, retaining, helping businesses expand. We want to give businesses tools and resources for today to help them with with the challenges they're dealing with now. So what would you add to that, Clarence?
Yeah, no, I think you hit on a lot of
Thank
those points. Another way maybe you could also think of it is traditional economic development is largely the business for the business sake. I mean, that's just one way to think about it. And what I mean by that is, if a business is trying to grow through economic development, they are often trying to maybe expand their footprint or maybe improve their workforce pipeline, or they're trying to, the work that they are doing is largely about where they are and where they're going to be in their place in the ecosystem.
Yes.
But when a business participates in what the chamber's doing, it is much more outward facing. It is partnership building, it is resource connection, it is education and information, it's advocacy work. So it is about your space engaged with the community around you. It is where you are in terms of the vitality of a community. One of the things we sometimes describe is when you choose the city that you've been to that you love, right? And you were to name one or two places that you went while you were there, you don't name like, oh yeah, you'll love it here, like Stryker's there. No, you say, this restaurant I went to was there, or this retail shop I went to was there, or this other, those are the places that oftentimes the chamber finds itself focusing on the most. because those places are where small and medium businesses are.
Yes.
That is where the vitality of a community lies. And so we want to make sure that those businesses who might not have the resources of a really large organization can still find connection to community and get engaged right there.
Thank you both for those wonderful explanations. I went to one of your, I forget what you call it, some kind of something and learn. And we did a lot of, it was an early morning thing. I thought I was going to get more food than I had, thank God. It wasn't very long, so I could go back and eat my breakfast. But that's not a knock, because you guys do feed people well. You feed people very well. But I learned a lot. I learned questions that I didn't even know to ask. And then I heard some conversations about those questions, and I was like, oh, I have thought about that question. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just being in the room where people are problem solving opens you to say, it's okay for me to have problems, because I have a resource where I can go and other people can provide input for that problem to help me think about my problem differently.
You know, one of the things that we try to pay close attention to, so Kevin mentioned that, you know, when I started here, I just started with listening. Like I didn't want to come in and be like, oh, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, come in and change all the things. It was like, no, like I want to be a servant first. I want to listen first. And one of the things we heard business owners say of a variety of sizes, but typically smaller businesses, is how lonely it feels as an entrepreneur. It feels like the challenges that I'm having because of my insufficiencies, because of what I don't know, because of what I'm not able to do well. And because we hear every business owner saying that, it's like, y'all should talk together.
Yes. Because
we recognize that in addition to the connection and the networking, relationship building side, there's just a camaraderie that's going to be built. And it's like, we can build community. It's lonely in part because some of the challenges of a business owner, like I can't share it with my team. I can't share the challenges with them. I could tell my partner or my spouse, but there's a limited amount of information that I can share with. Right. Like, who do you talk to? I can't tell my competitors who understand that. So who do you talk to? And so creating spaces, every time we create a space, we know that relationship building is going to be in the foundation. But on the top, there's so many other, there's so much richness that can be created with all of these other pieces, whether it's because we do business in the same community, or because we're entrepreneurs, or because we're here to learn about, some legislation that's passed recently. All of those things work together, we think, to kind of create the magic of the chamber.
Community. It's building community. You're right. When I was the executive director of Global Girls for 25 years, I was so alone. I was so alone, and my husband at the time, he was like, turn that off. You're home now. Turn it off. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I can't.
It's tough.
It's tough. And you're right, I couldn't tell other EDs because we were in the same market, working with the same group of girls. So if I had a safe space, I felt I could come. This morning, I met a young lady who owns a sweet shop in Oakland Plaza. And I says, oh my God, I bought ice cream from you last summer. It was the best ice cream ever. So I'm like, I'm never going there again.
I can't go back.
But we had the best conversation. She showed me the brand new dog she's getting. Then she was like, it's my birthday and I have to go and work at the store because one of my team members called off. I'm like, girl, do I understand? So now I have a program at Northeastern, and I was thinking about what can I get my teachers that I've been working with. I'm going to get them taffy from her store.
I love it.
So I'm like, oh. Then I was talking with the young lady who has the nail shop, and I was telling her about some of my issues. She's like, girl, come to my shop. I'm going to her shop. I did a program for the Y. No, not the Y, but the Boys and Girls Club. Connected with him this morning. We're going to have coffee. Might be some business opportunities. I'm like, I love this chamber. Guys, I love this chamber. You should become a member. I just started, gave over Global Girls, started my own business, and I feel like I'm on my way. Thanks to the chamber. You guys got to get a little song. The chamber, come to the chamber. Not that, but we're going to work on something.
We'll workshop it.
I got two things. We only have 6 minutes left. But I have two things. One is you give a lot of good parties. Parties.
Okay.
How do you move those people from coming to your parties to becoming chamber members? We talked about that briefly. How do many of them matriculate to becoming members? And the second thing is, what are we going to do about our children to prepare them for this workforce? So those two questions. You got like 6 minutes.
You want to take the first one?
Yeah, first one is just take the time to learn, build a relationship, learn about what their business is, and see if there are ways that we can support them. The last thing I want to do is if you're at a state in your business to where we can't really provide any value, let me just be a connection for you. Come hang out at our events. Let's find out when and how we can support you. But outside of that, it's continuing just to learn about people's business, being curious, and then when the time is right, they'll join. If we continue to serve them, if we continue to just take that steward mentality, invite them when they're at our events, love on them, make them feel valued, sooner or later they'll find the value and they'll join. So it's never a hard sell. It's just an invitation of, hey. And when I do see the areas where I feel passionate, I will push Marvin at and say, hey, you need to join the chamber because I want to see you succeed. So, but that's really the approach, and we keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Great. I like that. You don't want to do a hard sell because when you come at somebody hard, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
What's
the members, the value, and keep
Yeah.
it quick. The members provide the value.
Yeah.
What you were talking about, that's why I laugh when people give us the kudos. It's because you're in the room, Marvinetta. It's because Aaron was in the room who you spoke to this morning. It's because those people are in the room, which brings the value.
One of the things we our little analogy is, as we've tried to grow, it is definitely about who's in the room, and we wanted to focus on those folks first. I think that a lot of times, this is one of those sales process things, is you could approach growing the chamber as a sales proposition. We could go out and find as many people as we can to sell it to and get them to join. Instead, our focus has been, you know what, there's people who've already joined. Let's give them the best experience we can. Because all the people who haven't joined yet, I'm like, what's going on over there? That sure look nice, right? So that's really the way that we approach it, is let's have the best time we can. Let's really engage the people who've already made that decision and make sure they don't regret it, because their next door neighbor is going to be looking through the window like, what's going on over there?
And then they'll tell other people. Darrell brought me in. He's like, you need to go to the chamber.
100%.
And and because I trust him because of the relationship that we've built. He's introduced me to several organizations. I've had to go here, go here, go here. And I came, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
What can we do?
Yeah, young people. So I would say that the biggest thing we can do to really support young people, and we want to continue to go back younger and younger. So we have great relationships with, the school boards and the school superintendents, with folks like K-RISA. But specifically when it's time for young people to start thinking about where they might want to plug in for work, for career, the best thing we can do for them is to make the access to those jobs as easy as possible, because that not only serves our community here. We want to not only educate our people with things like the promise and all the other opportunities here, but we want them to choose to stay here for work. And the way we do that is to make sure our employers are growing so that there's work available, so that they can get paid a good wage, so that there's benefits, there's opportunity, there's a place for them to live, there's housing, that there's great small businesses that will support what they're doing. And so while that's indirectly supporting young people, it's critical. One of the things that we're enjoying right now is this new early career professionals, young professionals network called Link Kalamazoo. It's helping those 20-somethings. I've recently graduated from college somethings. Maybe they're employed already, but they're saying, like, where are my people, right? Where's my community? What's happening here that I can plug into? I think all of those things are ways that we can invest as an organization to build out. We can make sure that employers are growing so that there's jobs available, that there's access from educational institutions into those employers, not only for experience as an intern or an apprentice, but as an actual employee, and that your social life is accounted for as well. And your civic life is, there's engagement opportunities for you there as well. So we try to be invested in all those things just enough so that as young people come up through their educational pathways, that there's places for them to plug in so that they get here, stay here, and get plugged in.
Wonderful. We have like 30 seconds left. What words would you like to leave our audience with as we close out today? This has been such a rich conversation. I truly appreciate you, Kevin and Clarence. Kevin and Clarence. I taught English, so it'll always be a part of me. But what word or phrase or quote or anything would you like to leave to inspire our community? Not just the greater Kalamazoo community, but people who look like us. I'm just going to be blunt.
One thing I would say is just remember, every business started as a small business.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
I would say be bold.
Oh,
Right? Be bold, whether
Yes.
whether it's walking up to somebody you don't know, whether it's walking in a room you feel like, you don't belong, whatever that is, be bold. There's only one you, right? Whatever you're thinking, put it out there. Say it, think it. Because here's what I've learned. Last thing, here's what I've learned is that I used to sit in rooms thinking, I'm not going to say this out loud because people are going to think that was a stupid question or that was silly or that I must not know very much. I don't know as much as they do.
yes.
But the first time I felt I was bold enough to actually say that thing, everybody was like, huh, never thought of that.
Wow.
That's such a great question. And I'm like, boy, I got more. Hang on.
I got years of questions built up.
Built up, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Very quickly, when I was teaching high school, I had done it for 19 years, right? And I would teach the cheerleaders, the dance team, the theater team, everybody, because I just loved working with children. And I had this poem by Leo Buscaglia about risks, that the man who takes risks does not live. He's trapped by a certain certitudes. And so I'd always have it on the wall, teach it to all my students. And this one girl came into my office one day and she was like, you're always telling us to take risks, but I don't see you taking any. Teaching is pretty secure. I was like, you're right, I quit. Wow. And I quit. I drew down my pension. I said, I'm never going back. And for 30 years, I have not worked for anybody else.
I love that.
I
That's
take
amazing.
risks. I've taken a risk doing this. I took a risk to ask you guys to come. Take some risks. That's one of the regrets most people have on their deathbed, that they lived the life they thought they were supposed to live, and they did not take a risk. Take a risk and get to know somebody's story. Thank you so much, Clarence. Thank you so much, Kevin. It has been my delight having these people from Southwest Michigan First and the Chamber. We're going to have their information posted on this podcast. Look them up and join us. Join us. It's fun. But come on in. The water's fine. Thank you and see you next time.